Have you ever wondered why people think and behave differently? Why some people have a unique way of processing information? Well, my curious friends, it's all about something known as neurodivergence. Now, that's a big word, isn't it? Let's break it down. Neuro refers to the brain and divergence means different or varying. So essentially, neurodivergence is about the different ways our brains work. You see, just like we all have unique fingerprints, we also have unique brains. They're like snowflakes, no two are exactly the same. Our brains are responsible for how we think, how we feel, how we perceive the world around us, and how we react to it. And this can be different for every single one of us. That's the beauty of neurodivergence. But wait, let's clear up a common misconception. Neurodivergence isn't a disorder or a disease. It's not something to be cured or fixed. It's just a different way of thinking and processing the world. Think of it like this. If everyone was a computer, we'd all be running different operating systems. Some of us might be on Windows, some on Mac, and others on Linux. They're all different, but they all work, right? The concept of neurodivergence emphasizes that these differences are natural and normal variations in the human mind. It's about understanding and acknowledging that our brains are diverse, and that's perfectly okay. It's like a rainbow, where each color is different, but together they create something beautiful. Just imagine if everyone thought and acted the same way. Wouldn't that be boring? It's our differences that make us unique, interesting, and special. They add color and variety to our world. They help us see things from different perspectives and solve problems in innovative ways. So next time when you meet someone who thinks differently, remember, it's their neurodivergence that makes them who they are. And that's something to be appreciated, not misunderstood. Differences in our brains are what make us unique, and that's what neurodivergence is all about. Neurodivergence isn't just one thing. It's a broad spectrum encompassing many different types. When we speak of neurodivergence, we are referring to a vast array of neurological variations, each with its own set of characteristics, strengths, and challenges. Let's delve into some of these. First on our list is Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, better known as ADHD. This type of neurodivergence is marked by a persistent pattern of inattention and hyperactivity. Individuals with ADHD may have difficulty focusing on tasks, but on the flip side, they often exhibit a high degree of creativity and can excel in environments that allow for dynamic thinking. Next, we have autism, also known as autism spectrum disorder. This encompasses a wide range of conditions characterized by challenges with social skills, repetitive behaviors, and communication. But let's not forget the strengths. Many people on the autism spectrum have unique abilities in problem-solving, memory, and attention to detail. Dyslexia is another type of neurodivergence that primarily affects reading and related language-based processing skills. While this can make traditional learning methods challenging, individuals with dyslexia often have strong visual thinking, problem-solving skills, and are frequently highly creative. There's also dyspraxia, a condition affecting physical coordination and movement. This can impact a person's fine motor skills, but it's important to remember that dyspraxia does not affect a person's intelligence. In fact, many people with dyspraxia have excellent long-term memory and thrive in strategic thinking roles. And these are just a few examples. The neurodivergent spectrum also includes conditions like Tourette's syndrome, bipolar disorder, and many others. Each type of neurodivergence brings its own set of challenges, but also unique strengths. The key here is to remember that everyone's brain is wired differently. Neurodivergence is not a disease or something to be fixed, but rather a fundamental part of human diversity. Everyone has their own strengths and challenges, and the neurodivergent community is no exception. Remember, no two neurodivergent individuals are the same. Each person's experience is unique. Embrace the diversity and let's continue to learn and grow together. There are a lot of misconceptions about neurodivergence out there, and it's time to debunk them. Let's start with one of the most common myths, that neurodivergence is a disease. This couldn't be farther from the truth. Neurodivergence is not a disease. It's a different way of experiencing and interacting with the world. The term neurodivergent is used to describe individuals whose neurological development and functioning are atypical. This includes conditions like autism, ADHD, dyslexia, and others. These are not diseases, they're just different ways of being. Another pervasive myth is that neurodivergence is synonymous with disability. While it's true that some neurodivergent individuals may face challenges that can be disabling in certain environments, it's important to remember that this isn't always the case. Many neurodivergent individuals are perfectly capable of leading fulfilling and successful lives. It's all about finding the right supports and accommodations, just like anyone else. A third myth is that all neurodivergent individuals are the same. This is a huge oversimplification. Just like neurotypical individuals, neurodivergent people are incredibly diverse. They have different strengths, weaknesses, interests, and abilities. Each person's experience with neurodivergence is unique. Lastly, there's a myth that neurodivergent individuals can't lead successful lives. This is absolutely untrue. There are many successful and accomplished individuals who are neurodivergent. Take, for instance, the renowned scientist and inventor Temple Grandin, who is on the autism spectrum, or the billionaire entrepreneur Richard Branson, who has dyslexia. These are just two examples among many. As we navigate through these misconceptions, it's clear that there's a lot of misinformation out there. It's important to remember that neurodivergence is not a limitation but a different way of experiencing the world. And just like anyone else, neurodivergent individuals have the potential to lead fulfilling and successful lives. As we can see, misconceptions can cloud our understanding. It's essential to separate fact from fiction. So, how should we approach neurodivergence in our daily lives? That's a great question, and it brings us to the heart of our topic today: embracing neurodivergence. Neurodivergence isn't something to be feared or shamed. It's part of the beautiful tapestry of human existence, a kaleidoscope of different ways of thinking and experiencing the world. And just as we celebrate diversity in culture, race, and gender, so too should we celebrate diversity in neurology. Embracing neurodivergence starts with understanding. It's about recognizing that neurodivergent individuals aren't broken or flawed. They simply process information differently. This difference can bring unique insights and perspectives, often leading to creative solutions and innovations. But understanding is just the first step. Acceptance follows closely behind. Acceptance means not just tolerating neurodivergent individuals, but truly valuing them for who they are. It means celebrating their strengths, supporting them in their challenges, and treating them with the same respect and dignity afforded to everyone else. Next, we need to promote inclusivity in our society. This starts in our schools, where children learn social norms and form their perceptions of the world. Schools must provide equal opportunities for neurodivergent students to thrive, from individualized learning plans to inclusive classrooms. But it doesn't stop at school. Workplaces too need to foster an environment where neurodivergent employees can succeed. This could mean providing reasonable accommodations, such as flexible work hours or quiet workspaces. It also means valuing the unique skills and perspectives that neurodivergent employees bring to the table. Lastly, we must advocate for the rights and needs of neurodivergent individuals. This means standing up against discrimination, fighting for equal opportunities, and pushing for policies that protect and support neurodivergent people. Remember, embracing neurodivergence isn't just about being nice. It's about recognizing the inherent value and worth of every individual, regardless of how their brain works. It's about creating a world where everyone can thrive, not in spite of their differences, but because of them. Everyone has a role to play in making our world more inclusive for neurodivergent individuals. So, let's all do our part. Let's embrace neurodivergence. Let's take a moment to recap what neurodivergence is all about. It's a term we've delved into today, but what does it really mean? Neurodivergence is essentially the notion that brains, much like people, are not all identical. The differences in our brains are as natural as the differences in our faces, and these variations are what make us unique. We've explored the spectrum of neurodivergence, acknowledging that it is not a one-size-fits-all concept. There are different types of neurodivergence, such as ADHD, autism, dyslexia, and many more. Each type comes with its own set of strengths and challenges, and it's important to remember that one person's experience with neurodivergence can be drastically different from another's. We also took the time to debunk some common myths surrounding neurodivergence. We learned that it is not a disease or a disorder that needs to be fixed or cured. It's not something that makes a person less than or defective. Neurodivergence is simply a different way of experiencing the world. With this understanding, we discussed how we can embrace neurodivergence. We can do so by promoting acceptance and understanding, by creating inclusive environments, and by celebrating the unique talents and perspectives that neurodivergent individuals bring to the table. We can encourage neurodivergent people to embrace their own identities and celebrate their uniqueness, rather than trying to fit into a mold that doesn't suit them. In essence, neurodivergence is not a weakness, but a testament to the variety in human brains. It's an integral part of our shared human experience, and it's high time we shift our perspective to see it as such. Remember, everyone's brain is wired a little bit differently, and that's okay. In fact, it's more than okay. It's what makes us human. Neurodivergence is a testament to the variety in human brains. It's time we celebrate this diversity and make room for every kind of mind in our world.